Blog Talk Radio.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us. It's Tarot Today live. Yes, live here with me, Dax, and Mary. Mary's actually here, even though you don't see her on video. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Dax. Hey, everybody. Happy Psychic Saturday.
Yeah, so Mary's not on camera today. She's not quite up to it. I think a bird was flying over and pooped in her eye or something. It was terrible.
It was awful. Taken out by
Yeah.
bird.
Well, I've had this happen recently where like I had my whole eyelid, blew up. Like, yeah, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to go on camera. It's like, can we skip this show?
It's so weird how, sensitive
Mm,
our eyes are and how little protection we really have. The eyelid doesn't do it. The eyelashes, they don't protect that anything. I should have been wearing sunglasses or something because it was
yeah.
stuff blowing around in the air.
Yes. So there's the lesson for today. When
Wear
if
your
it's
sunglasses even at
yeah,
night.
is it really windy where you are? Put some glasses on, something, and
Goggles.
goggles. Yeah, walking around with you remember the goggles we had in like, chemistry and stuff like that? Can you imagine someone
Yeah,
walking around with the goggles and maybe like a scarf and everything and a big,
yeah. Go
big floppy
totally
hat?
Mad Max Thunderdome.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so on the video here, I put our Tarot Today banner up so you could see Mary's face at least,
Uh, there I am.
bigger. Although, on our logo here, you can see her over here too. So yes. Anyway, here we are, another show, another Saturday. Happy Psychic Saturday, everybody. We already got a bunch of callers calling in, and Charlotte's in the chat room. I don't know.
Hey, Charlotte.
You know what Charlotte said? Mary, you just should have wore a pirate eye patch.
Why didn't I have one of those handy?
I know. I know. Well, you know what I said when we were in the green room, put a big floppy hat on and sunglasses. Or if you don't want to do the glasses, you can like kind of put your hair down in front of your eyes and
Be like Cousin Itch, right?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
was that, the Addams Family or the Munsters, where it was
That was
like
Adam's
all
family. Yeah. Cousin It. I'm telling you. Anyway, so we are a live call-in show. If you want to call us, 714-816-4628. We'd love to chat with you. And you can ask anything you want. You can ask questions about tarot, numerology. How does this work? How does that work? Law of attraction, hypnosis, crystals, Reiki. Oh my God. We've got it almost all covered, except we don't do astrology. We do everything but astrology.
figure.
I may have to get into astrology just so we have it all covered, but we have everything else covered.
Right. There's enough people doing astrology out there,
I
I mean,
know, I
really.
know. It's done
So
to death. It's done to death. It's like, hey,
seriously, centuries of it.
so if you got a question about tarot, numerology, maybe you have a question about the Tarot Guild, because we're the official broadcast of the Tarot Guild. This is like the on-air newsletter of the Guild. In fact, I'll be letting you know a little bit later on the show what's coming up. That's right. And you can call in and ask about all of that. You can also call in for a mini reading, 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. That lets us know you want to be live on air. Oh, hey, we lost a couple of callers. We had a slew of callers in here, and a couple, 3 or 4 of them disappeared. I hope there's not a problem with Blog Talk, but hey,
I was gonna say that usually happens when there's like a
God.
glitch.
Yeah, I see a bunch of hands raised though, so we still got people on there, and you can join us in the chat room like Charlotte and Jason. Oh, Jason's in there. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Yes, he says break a leg, and Charlotte and him are talking. Hey, Jason, buddy. So that's what goes on in our chat room. You can chit chat during the show
You
live.
can make friends with Jason and Charlotte.
Everyone can, right? And the
Yeah.
chat room is on the YouTube live on YouTube. That's right. We are simulcasting. If you're listening to us on radio on Blog Talk through the Psychic Talk Radio Network, and you're just hearing the audio part, um, you can see us on camp. Well, usually, I mean, you can't see Mary today, but you can see me. So
Hmm.
come over to YouTube. We are Tarot Today Live on YouTube. So it's the @ Tarot Today Live. And if you type that actually in your browser, I think it's youtube.com/@ Tarot Today Live. It'll take you right to the page. You'll see the live. Click on that, and you can jump in the chat room with Jason and Charlotte, and I'm in there. It's kind of slow. Usually there's a lot more people, but hey, we're just getting started on this Saturday, November 18th, 2023. Can you believe it's going to be Thanksgiving next week?
No, I can't believe it. It's all happening way too fast.
I know it's going to be 2024. And I remember growing up in 2024 was like in science fiction films, and it was the far distant future
Yeah, and cool things are happening that are not
that are
happening.
not happening. Where's the flying cars, the
Where's the
Jetsons?
hovercraft? Yeah,
What's
yeah,
really funny is you had something like 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? And
yeah,
then um the the sequel was supposed to happen, I think, in 2010, which
yeah,
was 14 years ago now. Oh my god.
yeah. And still, here
It's
we are.
hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Mm,
Dave's not here. Yeah.
Dave's not here anymore. But Hal. And we got Nagar. Interesting name in the
Hello.
chat saying hello. Hello. Nigar. I kind of like Nigar. He'll tell me it's spelled or it's pronounced the other way. Yeah, let us know in the chat, Nigar. Nigar. It's like Gar with a knee on it. Anyway, in the chat room there. Oh, hey, you can ask questions in the chat too, because I'm in there. Let us know if you have a question about tarot, numerology. They can get a reading too, right, Mary?
Yes, they can get a reading. You don't even have to ask if you can ask a question. You can just
Yeah.
ask your question, say, pull a card for me if you just want a general reading, or if you have a specific question for a reading or just about anything, go ahead and ask. We'll try to answer it.
Oh, and Nigar says yes, correct, and popped in a question for us. But before we get to the questions and the phone calls, we're gonna do the cards of the day and the numerology of the day and everything.
Awesome.
Actually, I got the Justice card, Mary,
Oh, wow.
and I
Cool.
was like, "Oh, card 11," and we're in the 11th month.
Yes.
Yes, and when I was doing this, I looked at my screen and the clock said 11:11. And I was like, oh, wait, that's really eerie. The clock says at 11:11. We're in the 11th month, and I got the 11th card. I got card 11. Justice. Well, let me tell you what I think's going on with this, because the numerology is very interesting. The date is the 18th, so 1 + 8 is 9. 9 is the completion or end of a cycle. And the entire date, 11/18/2023, adds up and reduces to 9.
Weird.
Notice we're having that this month, where the same thing happened last. I think it was 11 and 11. The date and the day reduced to 11 last week, I think it was. And this week it's 9, completion, end of a cycle. And it's really apropos, because here we are in the 11th month. We're coming to the end of the year, and today is about endings. It's a great time to literally or figuratively go through your closets and clean them out. what's not serving you anymore. And hey, just this whole time of year, here we are, what, more than halfway through November, just what, 6 7 weeks left, something like that, of 2023. It's a great time to go, okay, I've been dealing with this all year and nothing's happening. Maybe we need to throw that one out, kind of thing. uh Take a look at, we're doing the whole thing also with the holidays, and we're going to be seeing family and friends and everything like that. Are there friendships that no longer serve you? Maybe some folks are actually holding you back. So this would be a good time to think on that, right? And also, projects that are not coming to fruition, or put the maybe. And that's the thing where the justice card comes in. Makes perfect sense, Mary. Here she is. She's holding the scales, right? And she's got the broadsword there. So it's like judiciously cutting out what's no longer serving you, what you can get rid of, and using the scales, so carefully weighing the options and carefully looking at everything, and then using that sword, just chop, 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 chop. Also, swords are thoughts and ideas, and I want to point out with that single sword that it might be a good idea to also think about, what's that one thing as we come towards the end of this year, and then we're going to start with a brand new fresh year next year, which, by the way, that's an 8 year, I think. And yeah, 2024. So 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4 is 8. Yeah, Mary, year of
Yeah.
abundance. Year of abundance. Okay. So what is that single thought or idea that you can focus on to find success going into 2024? Anyway, so that's the numerology of the day and the card of the day that I got. What about you, Mary? What's going on with you? I know you usually get a couple of cards that you pick.
Yes, I drew a tarot card and an oracle card. The oracle card is actually one of the from one of my crystal decks, the Healing Crystals by Rochelle Sharman. And
Mhm.
the card I got was the Ace of Swords. Um,
Oh, that's
and
apropos. I was just talking about
right,
the single sword.
right, and the single sword is, my gosh, that it goes all the way back to the Greeks, where the goddess Themis had the scales in one hand and the sword in the other, the one for weighing, the other for dividing. You could Archangel Michael motifs later in Christian iconography, same kind of idea with the sword and weighing of souls. But yeah, swords are so fascinating to me. I
Mhm.
even watched that show like Forged in Metal or Steel or whatever, that's on the
Oh, yeah,
History
I've seen an
Network.
episode or two of that, I think.
I think it's fascinating. But the crystal card kind of pointed me in a different direction with it. The card that I got was for Tanzanite, beautiful, beautiful blue stone, and the message is clarity. And so I thought more what you were saying about the swords representing thoughts and ideas specifically, and thought, wow, this is really, the message to me of those two cards is that, like, now's a good time to, like, if you have an idea, now's a good time to get really crystal clear on you know sometimes we, like, get a sort of shot of inspiration. We're like, oh, I have an idea, I could do this. And then, but if we don't, like, really get crystal clear on it, it's sometimes hard to you know put that thought into action. And so I think now is a really good time to, like, okay, like, really kind of get specific, and kind of crystallize that idea that you have, that you're excited about, so that you can make something out of it if you want to, you
Mm.
know. So that's what I got.
Awesome sauce. Okay. So let's pop back in the chat here. Oh, and Jason's asking Nigar. I like saying Nigar. Uh, is the pronunciation like nay and neighbor? Nagar. Hey, yeah, that could be. But I
Hagar.
think I think she said when I said Nigar that that was the right one.
Hmm.
So let's see what the question is. What is Juan's feelings and intentions towards me? And despite no contact and third party obstacles,
Mm,
will we get married at the end? So she wants the whole thing, I mean,
right.
wham.
Hmm. Good question.
I'm gonna
So, will they get married again? Of it all, despite all obstacles. The first card I get is actually the Ace of Swords. So there's that idea, their thought, the thought of like, will we be able to make it happen? Um, and wow, yeah, I'm seeing all these crazy obstacles that come up here with the Five of Swords. It's almost like the deck stacked against it.
Yeah.
Okay, like literally, and that may have to do, I think it has to do with the third party. So I get the Three of Pentacles. I feel like other people are working against it. um and in the end, the outcome isn't so clear. I get the Hanged Man. So what that tells me is like, this could take a while.
Mm,
The situation really, there's going to need to be like kind of a turn of events, literally, that kind of, you know puts things in favor of it, turns it around, turns it upside down, literally. But the way things are going now, it just looks really difficult. um
mm,
and so that is despite like any thoughts and feelings the other person may have, for you. I'm sure they like you. I'm sure they're interested in you. I'm sure they're attracted to you. But sometimes, everything else is like kind of colluding against it in a sense. And that doesn't mean it's impossible, but I would say, look, you'd have to be in for the long haul with this for something like that to happen.
mm.
What did you get?
Yeah. Very close to the same thing. I mean, all the cards are saying if it does happen, it's gonna take a while and take it would take a ton of effort at this point. The first card I got here, the Hermit card. Okay, so his back is coming off this way. His back is to like the rest of the entire spread. So his lantern, which usually, if it's in a different position, the Hermit card is often shining light on something else or on shining wisdom on the situation or whatever. But in this case, he's facing the past, and that's where the light is shining. And I feel like you are holding on to that Four of Pentacles. You're like holding on tightly to the past, how it was, or how you wish it still was, or something like that. But then I get the Five of Cups and then the Ten of Swords. The
Wow.
complete and utter ending there. So yeah, not happy circumstances with that Five of Cups and then Ten of Swords. I think that tells you right there on. Don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but it ain't looking too good there. Uh let's see. Oh, Yellow popped in. Hi, Yellow. Yellow's getting to
Yeah.
be a regular now, popping in.
Cool.
And Michelle's back, our other regular who's a member. Yeah, Charlotte's a member too. Uh okay, so and Nigar says, can't get any better with those cards. I'm like, yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. Aw.
It's telling you. It's telling you. Yellow says hi. Hi, Mary. Hi, Dax.
Hi, Yellow.
Awesome. So if anybody has any more questions, like Negar just did, just type it in there. Or if you can't think of a specific question, you just want us to pull a card, you could do that too. Just say, please pull a card for me. Meanwhile, Mary, we should go to the phone lines
Let's do it.
and see who's out there, who's been waiting the longest. It looks like area code 651. Are you there, caller 651?
Hi, this is Christiana calling from Minnesota.
Hi.
Hello, Christiana.
What would you like to talk about?
Every time
Hi.
Christiana comes on, it's like right away I think of Christiana Godet, the
Mhm.
tarot grandmaster.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what
What's
do you
going
Oh,
have
on?
to teach us today?
What would you like to chat about, Christiana?
well, actually, yeah, I was going to ask, can I ask about pregnancy?
What do you think,
Like,
Mary? I mean, typically that's one of the ones I don't do.
Yeah, I don't, it depends on the question. Like if it's something, we can't answer anything that's like health advice or, you know, that kind of thing. But if, it's about like
oh,
how
okay.
how it's going to affect you or your life or how you're going to be feeling through it, that's different. But yeah, we can't give medical advice.
So we have to be really
Yeah,
careful.
I didn't need medical advice, but that's okay. I'll just switch my question. I was actually wondering about um, a spirit that I was told about that's with me as a guide, and she has like long dark hair and is wearing like kind of like an Alice in Wonderland dress that's blue. And I was just wondering if you could tap into that and tell me more about her, like what she's there for or what she wants to help me with.
Sure.
That one's
We can pull
different.
cards on that. Is that something like a psychic told you, or how did you find out about this
Yeah,
guide?
yeah.
Mm,
Or
As
something you're
like a
seeing.
medium slash like.
but you haven't seen it.
Well, I feel no, I feel
Okay.
whoever
You
this
feel
is. I
present.
feel her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Dax, I think you're up first.
Actually, I went first. You're up. You
Aha.
you get to go first.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, look, my philosophy is you can pull tarot cards on anything.
On
Tarot
anything.
respond to any question and just, the medical stuff, the legal advice, things like that, we avoid because it's not right. It's not ethical, but this is okay. So what more can we tell you about this spirit? It looks like Alice in Wonderland figure. Wow. You know, it's really it's really interesting. The Page of Cups comes up along with the King of Cups. So there's this sense of like, there being like an emotional connection to this. And of course, the idea of like, okay, there's a presence around us, that's like, yeah, it's personal. It's personal. Um, and
Mhm.
the other cards that come up are really kind of interesting. They're cards of struggle. The Five of Wands comes up, the Ten of Wands comes up as well. And I feel that whatever you're going through, whatever difficulties, whatever you might be struggling with or stuff like that, maybe this spirit is just a kind of, so you got somebody in your corner, the sense of like I'm with you because I care about you and I'm here to support you emotionally as you deal with difficulties.
Mm,
So that's what I get. And the the other card that comes up too is really interesting, and that's the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man sometimes, to me is like, okay, this is a sign that we do need to turn things around. Maybe we need to look at things from a different perspective. So
mm.
this energy might help you do that, as well. to kind of like see things from a different perspective. And again, things that, you might have difficulties with. Five of Wands can be about like kind of the, battles that we fight. Sometimes that's internal, and other times it's like competition with other people. A Ten of Wands is like when we feel like, oh my gosh, the camel's back is breaking. I can't take one more thing. So moments like that, I feel like is when you might even feel that presence more, and you might, get some help, like,
Okay.
seeing those situations differently so that like we solve the problems rather than suffer through them. But let's see what Dax is getting.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
Yes.
You're
And so
welcome.
I'm getting the Seven of Swords. All right. And I just right away, the first thing I felt was biting off more than we can chew. He's got all these swords he's carrying, and he's sneaking out of the camp. Sometimes it's about sneaky things going on. Sometimes it's things going on in the background you're unaware of. But I'm not getting that feeling this time. This time I'm getting, he's looking back, he's eyeing those two swords. Damn, I couldn't, get those last two swords. It's like, wait, you already have 5 swords in your arms. What are you biting off more than you can chew, basically? And the main central focus card, though, is the Chariot card. It's the only major arcana card that showed up. It's a card 7 as well. 7 is the seeker. So 2 sevens there, this is about seeking, trying to find something, understand something, get something going, and often with the Chariot, with the black and white sphinxes there, sometimes in other decks, it's illustrated as like a light colored and a dark colored horse instead of the sphinxes, and they're going in opposite directions, and that's the whole thing, is the charioteer is controlling them, and trying to keep them together, even though they're going in opposite directions. But the main overarching thing is taking action. So whatever it is that you're dealing with and or seeking, that what holds a lot of people back, for instance, from a law of attraction point of view, is they get the visualization and they do all the steps of manifestation, but they don't do the 4th step, which is take the action, right? And then you end up with I got the 4 of Wands, and 4 is structure, and this is a celebration going on. So in the end, this could happen for you, but you would benefit from structure. That's that 4 energy, foundations and structure. That's what's actually going to help you. I don't know if that helped you out, but there you go, Christiana.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
I was
call.
just curious.
Yes.
I was curious about what were you saying I was biting off more than I could chew?
Right. In any of these, in any situation, we a lot of us were drawn to, like, try to get that very last thing, when let's just deal with what we've got now. Swords are thoughts and ideas. So what happens, in the card, he's looking back at the 2 swords he couldn't quite get, and he's got these 5 swords. So he's already carrying a burden of 5 concepts, ideas, or something like that, and he's trying to grab the last 2 back there. And in a lot of these cases, what I think's going on is we have a lot of different possibilities and ideas, and we want to work on all of them, but if you
Yeah,
but if you
that makes
recall,
sense.
yeah, and so we're biting off more than we can chew. We have like 18 projects, or in the case of the card, 7 projects, and we have 5 we're holding on to, these thoughts and ideas, and we got 2 that are right back there that we're looking longingly back at in the card, that we can't quite have. But remember, at the beginning of the show, in the card of the day and the numerology of the day, it was the Justice card with that single sword, and I said, okay, the energy is 9, the end of the cycle, and actually the whole rest of this year is an ending, right? And I'm saying, okay, what can we let go of that no longer serves us, and what single thing can we focus on instead of trying to bite off more than we can chew? Anyway, so that was a long way of of explaining, what I was getting at with that. But thanks for the call, Christiana.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you both.
We'll talk to you next time. And let's go to area code 216 next. Waiting the longest.
Hello?
Hi, what's your name, hon? Where are you calling from?
Karen.
Karen?
Yeah, Ohio, I'm sorry. Delayed reaction.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. It also
Call
sounded
from
like
Ohio.
it was cutting out there for a second there. Karen from Ohio. Oh, wow. Awesome. What you want to chat about?
Well, first of all, I want to give you a little heads up. I called about 6 weeks, 2 months ago. You said November, you got the 6 of coins. Or what's the one where money? The 5 of coins or the 6 of coins? One of those?
Oh, they all are.
Impoverished?
It depends on what aspect of money. There's actually 9 minor arcana cards that have coins in them.
The 6 is when,
The 5 of Pentacles.
Not counting the court cards, that's another 4.
Yeah. The 5 of Pentacles is like money struggles, money issues, having a
That's
lack.
what you said.
Yeah.
In November, and I'm like, there's no way. But you know what? I just give, and then I'll ask my question. Sorry, but you were so right that how one card could be the subject of this month. I'm redoing my kitchen. I'm getting it renovated with new cupboards and everything, and I've been really worried about money because a lot of money's been going out this month.
Right.
I decided to do this at the last minute. I just want to tell you were so right. I'm worried about it. I'm not struggling, but you still made a big point about it for this month. I just thought that was interesting. I know I never would have thought of that. But
that's really neat. That's really neat.
Okay.
We're doing the same thing we're doing all these renovations here in the house, and just got
Yeah,
all new appliances, and the money is just flying out the door. I know exactly what you're talking about.
you get it, and it goes like a snap of the finger. But anyhow, I just want to let you know. So can I ask you, just look into like the next 2 months, next 60 days, how my job is going to be. I just learned a lot of new tasks, and I'm just, my energy right now is a neon sign. I'm all over the place. There's just so much to learn. How do you think the next 2 months are going to go at my job? My boss is wonderful.
Do you have a male boss or female boss?
I have a male boss, but she does have a lot of masculine energy. And then there's another male that helps me. He's not a boss at all, but he's more of a coach. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking to look for a new job in the company.
I'm getting the Queen of Swords, and
Okay.
I just feel that that's the boss, and
okay. Oh,
look, she's facing you. You're the Empress, by the way. You're showing up the Empress. That that's that creativity, communication, energy, number 3 in numerology, and she's facing you and beckoning you. And again, just like in some of our previous conversations with the card of the day and our last caller and so forth, she's got that single broadsword. It's one idea at a time, one thing. I think that's what she's kind of saying, is like one step at a time. Now, before all those cards, the 9 of Wands shows up, and that's the numerology of the day, 9, completion, endings. But what's going on in the 9 of Wands is he's the figure in the card has a bandage on his head. He's kind of like standing guard, and behind him is all of these wands. Actually, they're staves. He's holding a staff, and then there's 8 other staves neatly, fence behind him, and these are, all of his passions from the past, but also his trials and tribulations and what experience and what he's been through. I think that tarot is saying you have all of what you need to get through this transition, and the learning of the new things and so forth. And then yet another 3 cards. So we have the Empress card. It starts off with the 9 of Wands, Queen of Swords. That's the boss showing up. 3 of Empress card 3, and then the 3 of Wands as the last card. So it's going to take you, a few weeks. I don't think it's 3 months. I think it's more like 3 weeks to get used to this.
Okay. It could take a month or so to learn, but maybe 3 months until I'm totally comfortable at the job where I can do it when I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like 3 weeks to get used to things, but 3 months. So that takes us into the new year. Before it's like, oh yeah, I feel like I've always done it this way.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So let's see what Mary's getting in addition to what I saw.
And the boss is facing me, so that's a good thing, right? Okay.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I was looking to see if her back was to you or if she was facing you. And I think she's going to be very helpful with it. She's also saying take one task at a time. Go ahead, Mary.
Well, the thing that's interesting is I got some 3s too that came up here. The central focus card I got is the 3 of Wands with the 3 of Cups in the past. And we have the 5 of Wands overlooking everything, but we end with the Sun card and the Page of Swords underneath everything. So, really what this is saying to me is that right now is a great time to pay attention, to listen. The 3 of Wands to me is the card of the observer. It's like when we're like listening, we're taking it in, we're seeing how things are done, that is what's going to help you the most. The 5 of Wands is a card of struggle and competition and stuff, and it's saying like, yeah, just learn it, just watch. You're gonna figure it out. Because we end with the Sun card where we're real happy. The Sun card too could be indicating the end of the year, is the time frame. But again, this number 3 comes up, and 3 of Wands right at the center. I feel like it's saying like the next 3 weeks or so, just really, be a good listener, be observant, learn the ropes that way. The Page of Swords, ask questions if you have to, but definitely, listen to what other people are saying, and don't have to compete about that. I mean, you're there to like get a feel for it and figure it out, and then be able to do really well at that job, I think, with the Sun card at the end.
Awesome.
So that's what I get.
Thank
you. You're welcome.
Oh, there's a lot of legal. Thank you so much, you guys. I needed that today. Yesterday was unbelievable. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Karen. You're going to have to call back again and let us know.
Let us know.
Wasn't that great? In the beginning of her call, she let us know about our previous reading and what we saw for November, and then it's happening. I love
it. And it's a great illustration too, because sometimes, and that's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to you, Dax, where you'll get a reading from somebody and it's like, okay, oh, what are you talking about? Like, you can't even imagine like what they're talking about is going to come into play. Like 6 months from now, though, you're going to be, on the beach, blah, blah. And then you find yourself on the beach. You're like, man, that is so weird. So it just shows you how, sometimes if it doesn't make sense, just make a note of it and then like let life happen, see what happens.
Yes, that's why we always tell all of our tarot students to always have a journal and write absolutely everything down, because you'll look back and go, oh my God, I didn't see that then, but now it makes so much sense.
Hindsight 2020.
That's how you learn how things work,
Yes.
actually.
Yep.
So we got a bunch more callers to get to. Coming up, our area code 801-518. Get ready, folks. 646-415. It goes on and on. And then in the chat room, so Yellow says, Mary, I love listening to the messages, even if they aren't for me. And by the way, tarot is multi-layered. The universe does this all the time.
So cool.
They'll put out something that's a message for someone, but it's also intended for other people listening in. And you'll know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that happens to me too. I'll be listening to somebody else's show and I'll be like, wow, I'm glad I heard that just now.
Absolutely. And then we've got new people. We've got Nature's Friend. We got Mahesh in here as well. Hi, folks. Yellow also says, I personally get positive vibes just from being here. Thank you very much.
Aw, we're glad you're here.
We also have, we got some questions now coming in from Nature's Friend, and there's a question from Yellow. But before we do that, I'm going to do the quick announcements, what's coming up at the Tarot Guild and the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Let's see what is coming up, everybody. Check this out. We're going to take a little break here for just a minute. So, Magic Universe, the next episode with Sharona is coming up November 26th. Oh, I just noticed Sharona's not in the chat or hasn't said hi yet because she's normally in the chat with us. That's kind of odd. Anyway, I wonder what she's up to. Anyway, she's going to have on Teresa Reed. She's having the tarot lady on herself, Teresa Reed. And I know they're going to be at least a little bit talking about her new book, Teresa's new book, The Cards You're Dealt. And the subtitle is How to Deal When Life Gets Real. I just love that. How to Deal When Life Gets Real. But the title, it's a tarot guidebook, and it's at the top, it says a tarot guidebook. And by Teresa Reed, the tarot lady, and The Cards You're Dealt. Wow. I wish we had more cool titles like that in tarot books in the tarot world. Anyway, but that's going to be Sunday, November 26th. And then I want to remind you that angelic channel and healer Catherine Hahn is back on Fridays with Compassionate Light Radio. She's doing this whole series of November shows that I think deals with relationships. But this next show coming up next Friday is going to be obviously the November series wrap up. And she's going to give a Thanksgiving message. So tune in on Friday. By the way, all of our shows are 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. London. They're all at the same bat time and on the same bat channel. That's right. And then Angelic View is actually coming up tomorrow. It's going to be an open line show with host Maria G. Moss, and I'm going to be guest co-hosting tomorrow. So we're actually going to be on camera. I can't believe, Mary, that I'm getting Maria to be on camera this many times.
That's awesome.
I know she doesn't like, she's like, I don't like doing the video, but oh yeah, we're doing it. Absolutely. So that's going to be tomorrow. So if we don't get to your call or your question today, remember, you can join us tomorrow. Lots more interesting things. And it's the same phone number, 714-816-4628. So write that down and you can call in tomorrow. What else do we have going on? Oh, also tomorrow, right after Maria's show, we're doing a workshop. Continuity is King. A workshop with the fabulous Gary Karp. Actually, let me pop over here to thetarotguild.com, to the workshop. So see what Gary wrote up about this. He says, learn how to make thousands of dollars a month without burning out. We'll cover how to turn on the faucet to money every month. You can use these techniques to generate monthly recurring revenue, so you can focus on healing the world, bringing the most value to your clients, and even create a loyal community of true fans. So that's Gary Karp. He is our director of professional development at the Tarot Guild, and he's a certified tarot master. And Gary, helps us out with the business side of tarot. For those of us doing professional readings, doing tarot as a profession, a lot of times we forget, we're so into the art, we forget that, hey, it's a business. All right. So Gary is our business expert, gives us all that. And he's going to do another fabulous workshop tomorrow. And there's time to join us in there. It's members only. But hey, you can join the Tarot Guild for the price of a latte. Actually, less than the price of a latte a month. We're now in our 20th year. The world's only tarot social media networking platform, thetarotguild.com. It's like Facebook for tarot, and it's free. You can join the website. Go over to thetarotguild.com. At the top of any page, just click sign up, and you can join for free. But we do have our Tarot Guild membership. You get your membership certificate, access to all of our live Q&As, live workshops like Gary's tomorrow, panel discussions. Your membership comes with a lot of different benefits. You can get certified through the Guild as well. You get a discount on my course, and it's $47 a year, which comes out to, I don't know, $3.90 a month or something like that. It's less than the cost of a latte at Starbucks. That's all I know. So come over there and, just click join the Guild. And we also have a lifetime membership as well. So go check that out over at the website and join us for the workshop tomorrow with Gary. All righty. So that's what's going on here at the Guild and on the Psyche Talk radio network. We're doing a lot of the shows here on simulcasting on the YouTube channel. And even if we're not doing video, you'll be able to listen to the show here on the YouTube channel, simulcasting on Blog Talk as well. So what we typically do, as a matter of fact, I have that scene set up for when Sharona comes on with Teresa on the 26th. And here on YouTube, this is what you'll see. So we've got the little video going in the background there and the banner for the show, and they're going to be on audio, unless things change between now and the 26th. You never know. Sharona might say, hey, let's do video.
Never know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what's going on, folks. And let's see. I'm thinking before we get to those couple of Jason's going fan favorite crazy in the chat there. Wow, Teresa Reed.
That's funny.
Before we get to the questions in the chat, though, you want to take another phone call or two, Mary?
Let's do it.
Let's see who's been waiting the longest. It looks like 801. Oh, is that Charlotte? Charlotte, are you on? Is that you, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
Charlotte.
How's it going?
How are ya? How are ya?
Good.
Great. Another one
How
of
are
our
you?
members at the Guild, Charlotte.
What do you want to talk about, Charlotte?
Well, mostly I was just like, I gotta call and say hi to those guys.
Thanks for
Tell them how
saying
much I love their
hi.
show.
Oh, thank you.
And but then like my anxiety is like I talked to Catherine yesterday, but my anxiety is like it could feel the blimp flying around, the Goodyear blimp flying around the stadium is what my anxiety is like. But but I just had two cousins die, sisters, within a month of each other.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And 3 people end up in ICU for 4 or 5 days each. One had to be life flighted. I mean, it's just been crazy. I mean, it's just been crazy. And I'm thinking maybe that's affecting me more than I thought. And then it's got me thinking more about family. And yeah, I have a sister who, cut me out of her life several years ago. But I cannot get her off my mind. And I'm just like, okay, is she in trouble? Am I just freaking out because of the sister cousins dying within, a month of each other? Am I, what's going on? So if you could maybe just pull a card on family, what's going on with my family?
Sure.
Would my no more, the cousins, yeah, I probably should know, but I'm more interested in siblings and because I swear my family has become so dysfunctional after my parents died. It's just it's sad, really, but
So
yeah.
who goes first, me or Dax? I can't remember.
I think it's me now.
Okay, good. You go first. I still need to shuffle.
That's perfectly fine. So what I'm getting here is the Six of Pentacles. There's a lot going on here. Now, remember the card of the day, numerology of the day, right, Charlotte? And we had the Justice card. And what's the Justice card holding? The scales. And here in the Six of Pentacles, once again, we see the scales. It's about finding that balance. I think that's the message here. And in this particular card, you got a merchant or some wealthy person is giving alms to the poor, but he's got that scales and he's weighing out what he can afford to carefully give as much as he can, but he's still being very cautious about it. And how much can
right.
Yeah. And so in dealing with your relatives, remember I said it's a 9 energy today. And we have to look at, what can we let go? Now, I'm not telling you get rid of your relatives. That's not what I meant. Because I know you take everything literally. Take everything literally.
No, I didn't.
But what I'm
I do
talking
take a lot of things.
I'm talking about is
I wouldn't put out a shit on my relatives or anything like that.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about with this is, what is the emotional baggage around this that you're holding on to that you can let go of, and maybe you have to meter out how much you're giving away in, your individual interactions with individual members of the family so you don't get overloaded, things like that. Being very careful. And then, because I couldn't just pull one card, I pulled another card. I got the Page of Cups. And, cups are emotions, and pages, it's often about, I feel this, you were talking about your brothers, and, this is a very brother card. And, I just feel like at least with one of them, there's going to be a message coming through that's going to be positive. Things are going to, turn that way. At least for one of them anyway. But with
well, I hope, because I get along with the other two. There's only one that has decided that he's the oldest, I'm the youngest, and he's even though he's been, he can't let that go. So
Yeah, but I feel like there's, going to be something positive coming through. But the main thing is that scales is like you got to have a more balanced interaction with the family. But let's see what Mary's getting because she might have some better thoughts
Better thoughts.
or additionally
Jack,
helpful thoughts,
Jack,
right?
I don't know.
Jackson's going hot potato, passing it to
Right,
Mary.
pass it over. Um, the cards that came up are really interesting, and I actually, for whatever reason, maybe just because it's you, I drew 8 cards. You know, it's like, oh, there's one more. But it's interesting. And the first card that came up was the Hierophant card. And that idea of tradition, and then the Emperor and the 4 wands, this idea of structure. So, like, okay, the traditional family structure. Yeah, you don't really have that. Okay. Or what we think of it,
No.
really. There's tons of different ways that families express themselves and family dynamics express themselves. But for yours, you know, yeah, it's kind of ah, you know, um a little weird, right? And we have the 2 of Pentacles underneath all of that structure. Right? And it's saying like, yeah, we go back and forth a lot. There's a lot of like, it's hard to balance all of this, right? Um, and so I feel like it's saying like, look, that's like maybe the crux of it. Underneath everything is like, yeah, I don't have this traditional family structure. Everybody's not behaving the way that they should behave, traditionally, which nobody behaves the way they should, right? And where we end up
Right.
with right now is the Moon card. The Moon card's there. And with the Moon card, another celestial, the Star card. So our hopes and our uncertainty combined, right? And you're sitting underneath that, the weight of it. The Moon also, look, don't discount the impact of grief as well when we suffer losses and we worry about people that are close to us and they're like in the ICU or they're passing away. It definitely would put anybody in that feeling of, just like what's going to happen next? What do I need to look out for next? I can't see what's going to happen next. Um, so it's saying like,
Yeah.
Process those feelings, give yourself time to kind of just work through it or not work through it. And we have the 3 of Pentacles as the final card saying like, look, we're going to work through this and also, work with others through it. So those family members that you are getting along with that don't give you that sense, of foreboding or like, oh geez, this is difficult. Work with the ones that work with you, and try to let go of what you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen, right?
Mm.
You can get a tarot card
Yeah.
reading, you can
I
go to a psychic. We can all, try to, find different ways to like kind of, get a little bit of ahead on the future. But at the same time, there's so many different factors in life, and life can be unpredictable, and we can't worry about it. But when we're grieving, when we lose people, when it's unexpected, those that can kind of trigger that feeling of anxiety and just like worrying about, well, what if something happens to my sister, or is something happening to my sister because now I'm thinking about her. Oh no, like don't go there if you can avoid it, and work with what's working with you as you allow yourself to feel into this, to reach that point of peace and acceptance with how things are. That's what I get.
hmm
Hope that helped out,
and
Charlotte.
that it does, and honestly, it that you couldn't have expressed. The cards couldn't have told you more about what I've already been doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess um, you know, it just says, yeah, you're headed on the right path. And I do all right until, I have been working really hard to just let it go, but it's hard,
Yeah.
Too much history there to explain why it's so hard to let go. But your cards were right on, and they're what I've been working on. But like you said, the anxiety these last couple of days have been so, I mean, ginormous. I mean, I haven't had anxiety like this. I can't remember the last time. Well, yeah, I can. It was
And,
quite a few years ago. But
and how do you deal with it? That's the thing, it's like we've got it. So often we don't remember that, like, we have some tools to help ourselves make us feel better. I know you got a lot of crystals. That's one way, focusing on that, doing something that, even like going outside, stretching your
And
body, things that can kind of relieve that
and those
internal pressure.
scales, balancing it out.
Yeah. Make sure you're taking care of you when you're feeling that level of stress, you know?
Okay, Charlotte, we got to get going here. We got some more questions in the chat and more callers. But thanks for
Thanks for
calling in.
calling.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you guys.
Talk to you soon. Got a bunch of callers. If we don't get to you, we're not going to be able to get to everyone, obviously, but remember, we're taking calls. It's open lines all show long tomorrow. So same bat time, same bat channel. It'll be 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Same phone number, 714-816-4628. And you'll get messages and guidance from Maria G. Moss, and I'll be on there guest co-hosting. Real quick in the chat, Mary.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we had Elaine come in. Hi, Elaine. Elaine says
Elaine.
hi. Who was it? Had a question. Nature's friend. When do you see the man I love verbalize a romantic commitment between us? It's a
when.
when question.
We love when.
What about the if? We didn't do the if part. Wait here. Let me pull. I'm just going to pull a quick card on this. Oh, look. Wheel of Fortune. Yep. I think the answer is yes. It's going in your direction. Timing wise. Well, I mean, it's card 10 weeks. So I think what we're looking at is either one of those New Year's things, when you do the kiss at midnight, or it's going to be early January 2024. That's what I'm getting. You, Mary?
When. Let me just pull a card on when.
Yeah, just pull a card.
Okay, well, I got the Page of Swords. Let me pull another card. I got the Queen of Cups. Let me pull one more card. The Star card. Oh, wow. And what's interesting is that bright shining star up in the sky reminds me of the ball dropping. That's the first thing. I don't know if it's why.
There you go.
I was like, wow. So yeah, I would look around New Year's for him to verbalize that for you. Looks good.
I'm liking it. Another quick question in here. Who was that? Yellow said, is there still a future with my friend in Italy? Let's see. Oh.
Still a future with your friend in Italy. I get the Empress card.
Empress.
So I'm taking that as a good sign, because that's about things continuing to grow and to become even more connected. So yeah, I think that looks good. What did you get, Dax?
So I think it was with Charlotte. Yeah, the last call you got the moon card, and look, I got the moon card. And right after the moon card, the Two of Cups. So yeah, I think it's a big fat yes. There's still the possibility of a future. Now the moon card suggests that things are not super clear right now, and suggests a bit of a delay there, because we don't know everything that's going on with the moon. it's not like sunlight in the light of day. It's the light of the moon is cast shadows, and it's just not quite clear with that, right? But then at some point we end up with the Two of Cups, so you guys could definitely possibly come back together like that. All righty. Let's see. I think that was everything in the chat. Let's see who's been waiting the longest on the phone lines. Area code 518. Caller, are you there? 518.
Hi, I'm here. Yes. Hi,
What's your
I'm in
name,
New
hon?
York.
New York?
Marie.
Maria, New York. Okay.
Hi.
Yes. Before you, hi, both of you. I don't usually do this, but I have to give you guys a little confirmation on something because I got the same thing you did. The person in the chat room who asked, when will I get my basically proposal? When will he profess his love? Before you guys shuffled, I said 6 months. No, maybe not quite 6 months, but I got the number 6. And I went, maybe it's 6 weeks. Well, you guys said around New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 weeks would be around New Year's.
See?
So, yes, I got the same.
Awesome.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to share. So,
glad you did.
So I have a thank you. I don't typically do that. I used to read. I'm clairvoyant, and I had a pretty good size list of people I read for, but then I put it down for. I know some people find this, questionable or it's kind of faith-based, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I believe, reading. I believe when you're clairvoyant or have the gift, it's a gift from God. I don't believe everyone has it. Like some people are natural born athletes. That's a gift, but not everybody is a natural born athlete. So I believe we're given different gifts, and I believe my gift is, clairvoyance. But then I said, oh God, am I supposed to be using it like this or not? So kind of step back and put it down, and then whatever my dreams reveal, or if something just comes to me very, very strong, I'll speak, I'll speak about it. But mine is more kind of for the different reasons that I stopped reading.
Sure.
But anyway,
we all have to be, we all have to feel good
Yeah.
about what we're doing, and feel certain that it's what we should do. Yeah. So what would you like us to look at for you?
Okay. 2 Mondays ago, I've been looking for a job, and I know there are a ton of jobs out there. Everybody's like, there are a ton of jobs out there, but my situation is kind of unique as to how I can work. So I'm not able to work full time, and barely able to work part time for what some of these jobs are paying. Long story, but in the long of the short of it, I went to this interview, and I was initially told, you'll hear from me by Friday either way. Would you like to come in and shadow for 2 hours on such and such day? I said, yes. They have everybody come in and shadow just to see whether they like it or not, or we'll get it. So I'm like, yes. So I went in for my shadow, and it was only 45 minutes. And I'm like, I wonder why it was changed. But maybe there's just a lot going on, or maybe the person who, could train me or I was shadowing, had something else. You know what I mean? Maybe something came up, so they couldn't do the 2 full hours. After that, I was brought to the office, and I was asked, what did you think? And I'm like, okay, I could definitely do this. Is there a bit of a learning curve? And she's like, oh yeah, we give, 9 months. I said, oh God, I could learn it sooner than that. I mean, I'm sure you learn along the way, so you wouldn't know everything in 9 months. But yeah, would I catch on quick? I believe I would. So she said, okay, I'm going to try to wrap this up by the end of the week, but definitely next week I'll have my decision made. I said, okay. So the next week would be this week. And I haven't heard back, and I've applied to other positions, and I even, and I reached out to her a couple times, just to thank her for having me in, thank her for, letting me shadow, whatever. And I gave her I gave her an out. I left her a message basically saying, hi, I sent you an email from my primary account. because I had to email her everything from a different account. So I sent you a message from my primary account. You know, I how did I word it? I said, you know, I'm very interested. I said, but and basically, I don't remember my wording. But if you're not, please let me know so I don't pass up other opportunities. Kind of like, don't leave me hanging. You know, for me to think maybe, you know, you get what I'm saying. I don't want to pass up other opportunities, but you know, you're my first choice, and I'm very interested. Here's my number. You know, please let me know at your convenience. Thank you so much. So I feel like that was her out. If she didn't want me, she could have written me back and said, thanks, but no thanks. Good luck with whatever you take, you know. So I haven't gotten a yes, and I didn't get a no. And I just want to know I mean, I think everything went pretty well. I just don't know why I'm not getting, and I feel she's professional enough to give everybody a response. Some places won't ever. They'll just never get back to you. You could die and you never. So I just want to know what you see around this, you know. And I did apply for other positions because I can't just sit here and do nothing. But I mean, does it look like I'm going to get it? What's going on with it? Or if not, what happened?
Well, Mary, I think I'm supposed to go first.
I think it's you.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it could still go either way. When I asked specifically about, you know, is this coming through for you? I get 3 no and 2 yes cards. You know, whenever I get 2 or 3 yes or no cards, you know, okay, so it's leaning no, but that doesn't mean absolutely no. It could go either way, depending on, it's like there's something else that needs to be done. And the 2 of swords shows up.
We'll have to have a background check.
You know, yeah, see the
if she wants me. I'm sorry.
That could be part of it, but in general, you know, background checks aside, in general, I'm getting the 2 of swords. So that's a decision not made yet. And
okay, on anybody then, like, so she just hasn't decided.
Exactly. Yeah. And we do have, you know, the Page of Pentacles showing up. So, you know, a whole new learning experience like you were discussing coming in. But, you know, pages are also often often positive messages coming.
Yes.
Through. You know, the 3 of Pentacles is showing up. And, you know, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, you're going to be working on a project with other people. And I don't know if that's showing up to maybe give you a hint at something from, you know, coming in the future, and whether or not it might be, you know, because you know the circumstances of this. I don't. Okay, I'm not psychic that way. So, you know, it may be giving you, like, if working on a project in the way of the 3 of Pentacles here doesn't look to you like this particular thing that you're talking about, it may be hinting at something different, a whole different thing. That
it's medical records.
Yeah,
I don't know if that helps.
I don't know. Yeah, my gut instinct was it didn't fit, right? You get the 3 of Pentacles. It's working on a project, and then the main focus card in the middle is the 9 of Pentacles. Again, we're on a 9-day here. It's the end of a cycle. You know, what can you let go of? Okay, that's no longer serving you. But the 9 of Pentacles is also the self-made woman, not someone working, you know, maybe subcontracting for somebody, but not working in a job for a company. So anyway, I'm not saying what this is, this project, and you know, with the 3 of Cups, with the 3 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, you know, the self-made woman, I'm not saying, but I just want to throw that out there, that this is what's showing up in the cards. along with that Two of Swords, you know, your initial inquiry, that's not been decided yet. But it's almost like there's something completely different you're supposed to be doing, which does not involve a job working for a company. It, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is an entrepreneur. They're either subcontracting or they're running their own business. Anyway, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But let's see what Mary's getting.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
what are you getting, Mary?
Can I just? I'm sorry. I was going to just say this. If while you're looking at the cards, can you just tell me what the delay is? I don't know if it will show you that or not, but
what the delay?
Like, what's the delay in hearing back from her any which way?
Right.
Yeah.
And well, it could be the fact, you know, what Dax was saying about not having made the decision yet. But when I look at this, you know, the first card that came up was the Hermit card. Like, they're still deciding. Also the Five of Wands is underneath it. So, like, yeah, you're not the only person that applied for the job, right? But the other thing really interesting with this is that I get two aces. You know, and to me, aces a lot of times represent opportunities. So there's like one in the past, one in the future. I feel like there's still more opportunities worth pursuing. And the other card I get is the Nine of Pentacles as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to, like, you know, start your own business and like do all of that, but maybe that with the Hermit card is talking about something where you would be working more independently. You know, that could even be like remote work, you know, but I feel like with this, yeah, I'll agree with Dax that they're undecided, but I also feel like, you know, keep putting yourself out there because there's more opportunities, and I feel like something good is going to come through. Oh, I got the Sun card as well. And so I feel like, yeah, this job that we're discussing isn't necessarily the be all end all, you know, in a sense.
Oh,
So
I know that. I just know the company is a good company. The job is a solid, and this is where I want a career, not just a job. So, like, I have reasons, and I have a friend who works there, so I have reasons for wanting. It's not like, oh, just another job. I need a job. This is where I really like to work.
This is the one you really want.
But I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know why there's the delay. I mean, she was very firm, either this week or no later than next week. Absolutely not. And I don't know how they could be deciding. Now, I mean, there were two positions for the same position. One was full-time, one was part-time.
Right. That's interesting.
I'm at a loss.
Yeah, it just, you know, sometimes things can take longer than they think, but it does kind of tell you something though. Because, you know, you had this person say, hey, no later than this. Absolutely, I'm going to call you one way or the other. And then they don't come through. It just, you know.
I don't know if something
that would give me pause.
Yeah, it's just like manage your expectations with that, even if you do get the job, right? You know, it's like, you know, can they deliver, you know? But you know, things happen, and if there is competition for it, and if there's other, you know, even just the 501 sometimes can say like, okay, there's things competing with that. So it could be something where time got away from them and they ended up like getting distracted by other things too.
Yep.
You know, but
I know she's extremely beyond busy. And being down a person.
It could
might just be. Well, remember with the Two of Swords, that is a decision, two different paths you could go down. That's a decision that you're either unwilling to make or unable, you know, and if she's that busy, she might be unable at this point. So I drew another card real quick. I just wanted to mention, I got the Six of Swords.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask specifically timing on that question. And 6 is a success number in numerology. And in the card, the Six of Swords, it's slow, steady progress towards your goal. And I would say 6 days. So that would be like the middle to the end of next week before you hear anything. I would not be surprised if you heard something on Thursday or something, and then called us back on Saturday and said, "Guess
right before
what?
Thanksgiving." Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say, I don't think they're working on Thanksgiving.
well, no,
Probably not.
Sorry.
It could be
no,
that
no,
thing
but you know
where
what
it's
I
like
mean. It's 6
late
days.
Wednesday
I know
night
what
or
you're
something.
It
saying.
could
Yeah.
be Wednesday. It could be Friday. You know, it could be anywhere in there. And I would not be surprised if you hear
Okay, so you're good.
something before our Saturday show and
Mhm.
you're going to be able to call in and let us know.
Okay, if I do, well, I will let you know either way. I'm just
Yay.
praying, I guess this is a perfect
We're gonna remember you
opportunity
said
from my
that
personal
you.
situation.
Yes, Marie.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Do you both celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, have a fantastic Thanksgiving, both of you.
Oh,
Yep.
thank you so much. You
We are
too, if you
warming up the
celebrate it, and if
turkey.
you don't, just have a great Thursday.
Who doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving except for, well, the rest of the entire world? But I mean,
The whole world
in the
and
United States,
even
you know, there's
uh, lo-
people, I bet there's people even in other countries that celebrate our Thanksgiving because it's such a cool thing. Who doesn't like turkey? I mean, come on, turkey, ham, whatever your thing is. Anyway, we're at the end of the show. Hey, Mary, I wanted to let you know, Yellow says, what is that? Grazy Voidus. Oh, that's Italian, isn't it? 1,000 thanks. You two are great in Italian. Okay.
thank
That is
you.
so cool. That is so cool. And Charlotte's like, Jason, are you still there? And I said, I'm here. And Jason comes back, of course, Charlotte, I'm here.
Oh wow.
Anyway, so
Awesome.
it'll be after Black Friday, after Thanksgiving, and we'll be back here
Yes.
next
We'll
week.
have recovered from the tryptophan.
Hopefully. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. You know, I might still be. But also, I get to be on again tomorrow. So join us here on the YouTube channel or on Blog Talk at 11 a.m. Pacific. It'll be 12 noon my time, 1 p.m. Mary's time because she's in Amarillo, right? And 2 p.m. New York City, London, 7 p.m. And Maria and I will be having a lot of fun chit-chatting and stuff like that. So come join us and hang out tomorrow too, right?
Yes.
All righty. Well, that's it, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, John Boy.